Hello, in this video we're going to be looking at how we remove low and high yield data points. We're going to be doing this either by using the filter, if we haven't used it during the import process, or using the Show Me feature. Rightio, let's look at how we start to remove low yielding points and high yielding points from the software. And so we're looking back now at our spinny field, so we now need to go and have a look at the views and the way that we want to view the data. So we can look at dry yield if we want to in tons per hectare, or we can look at wet yield in tons per hectare, or we can look at mass yield. For this example, let's stick with mass yield. I think that will be the easiest to look at. First thing that we notice is that we have 7 legends here. There's going to be another video on how to narrow that down to 3, 4, and so they are manageable levels rather than the finer detail that they are at the moment. They may be a little bit too narrow for you. But the most important thing for this exercise is when we're wanting to remove low yielding data is the 0 at the bottom here, or we have a wonderful 45 ton per hectare, 45,000 kilograms per hectare. So yeah, not a bad yield if we could get it. Obviously that is incorrect, so we need to do something about it. So the first part that we can look at is the 2 buttons along the toolbar here. One is called Show Me and the other is called Filter. Now if we start off with Filter to start with, this screen may be familiar to you if you filtered the data in when you were importing the data. If you did, then there's a very fair chance that you won't have got the 0 points here or the 45,000 kilograms per hectare at the top yield. We will have got rid of those. So if we just look in this instance at yields of mass yield of between 100 and 1500, we will now immediately see straight away that our lower scale starts at 100 kilograms and our top one finishes at 14 ton. So there may be some points above 14 ton, but they are irrelevant to us at this stage. Whereas at the 100, I know that there's nothing between 0 and 100 because the first one is 101.8. Whereas if there'd been something a little bit below that, then it would have been 100 point something or other. So I'm pretty confident that I've got my low yielding level right, but I'm not sure about the high one. Now, all this filter does, it just shows me the filtered out data for the screen. I haven't got rid of it, I haven't done anything else to it other than hide it. So if I go back to my filter button and untick the use filter box, it will come back and I go back to my 0 and I go back to my 45 tons as well. The other thing that we notice is that we get a few more data points now because it's refreshed those, and they may be something other than there we go, we've got speed, we've got the wet yield, we've got the mass yield, and these points are pretty much likely to be 0. If we do want to check those, we just click the I button down here and we've got mass yield of 0. And that information tab can be quite useful if we just want to spot point and look at some information there. So the mass yield there was 5 ton per hectare. So if we go back to this one, that's a ton. Right, the Show Me filter is where we start to delete data if we want to. Scroll down, click edit on our mass yield, and the first thing that I want to do is ask it to show me all the points up to 100 kilograms per hectare. So here all these points are below 100, and if I will be pretty confident that they would be 0. So there's one at 0, 0, 0, so I know that all those points have 0 yield associated with them. So do I really need them in my yield data? Probably not. So I'll use my select tool, highlight them all, and then click the edit layer button, because what I'm going to do is delete them all because they have no value to me at all. So I'm going to click my edit layer and then on my keyboard select delete, and all those points will disappear. Click Save and Close. Go back to Show Me, make all data visible, and then OK. I'm now starting to get a little bit of a cleaner yield map here. However, I still have my 45,000 kilograms per hectare. We need to address that. So I'm going to ask it to show me on this occasion, and it's not up to, it's from 15 tons per hectare. So if I set that as my maximum, anything above 15 ton, and see, we've only got 1 or 2 data points, and there's a number of reasons for that, but the main one is when the sensor on the elevator will pick up, for some unknown reason, a really strange reading when the grain is going over the top of it. It's just one of those things. So what we're going to do is select all of those points, go to the Edit Layer button, hit the Delete key, save and close, go back to Show Me, make all data visible, and then it goes, then we go back to OK. Now the map here still shows nothing, so what I'm going to do is delete it and then refresh it again. It brings it all in, so we're now back up to the 101 as our lowest yield, and 14 ton as the highest yield. And the map now does start to look a little bit cleaner, and when we highlight these points here and look on the information tab, they will be somewhere above 100 kilograms. So it's a true reflection of the yield that we've got. As to which one you use, the filter will just hide it for a while. If you use Show Me and delete the points, it will get rid of them permanently. The choice is yours as to which you use, but if you've used filter to start off with, it will hide them. It doesn't delete the points. Filtering doesn't delete it just filters them out of our view when we're importing it into the data, or when we're filtering it out of the map that we've got here. So that's how we edit our yield data to remove high and low yielding data points.